Have you ever felt that something important in your life was ending, even though nothing seemed to be wrong? Sometimes, what is fading is not purpose, but an old way of seeing that has already done its work. The final dawn of the old light reveals how releasing what once guided you can open the way to deeper trust, integration, and a quieter, more enduring clarity. The seeker arrived at the edge of night as the horizon held its breath. Darkness still rested upon the land, but it no longer felt complete. A pale glow lingered where sky and earth touched. Not yet a sunrise, not yet an ending. It was a threshold, quiet and unmistakable. The air felt weighted with completion rather than anticipation. He stood still, sensing that this moment was not asking him to move forward or backward. It asked him to witness. The old light, which had guided him through countless days of seeking, reflection, and struggle, was preparing to fade. Not in collapse, not in loss, but in fulfillment. It had done what it came to do. The seeker remembered how this light once appeared, as answers, then as questions, then as discipline. It had been the fire that awakened responsibility, the clarity that stripped illusion, the presence that demanded honesty. It had illuminated paths and revealed limits. It had been strong, sometimes harsh, always precise. And now, as dawn approached, it soft, he realized that the old light was not truth itself, but a teacher shaped by necessity. It was the light that divides shadow from form, right from wrong, self from other. It had helped him learn discernment. It had shown him how to choose, how to stand, how to vow. Yet discernment, once learned, no longer needed constant illumination. Wisdom had begun to breathe on its own. As the horizon brightened, the seeker felt no fear. There was no sense of abandonment. Instead, there was gratitude. The old light had never promised permanence. It had promised guidance until understanding matured. And now, understanding stood quietly within him. Not loud, not certain, but steady. The land around him began to change. Jarred shapes, once shard, grew gentle. Edge colors blended rather than competed. The seeker noticed that nothing was being erased. The night was not defeated. The light was not conquering. A transition was occurring without conflict. This dawn did not arrive as victory. It arrived as release. He reflected on how often he had mistaken endings for failure. How many times he had clung to familiar clarity, believing that letting go meant regression. Yet standing here, he saw that every ending carried a deeper integration. The old light had taught him how to see. The coming light would teach him how to be. The seeker felt the final work of the old light completing itself within him. Its last gift was not instruction, but permission. Permission to trust awareness without constant correction. Permission to move without rigid certainty. Permission to live without translating every moment into meaning. As the sun began to rise, something subtle shifted. The light no longer seemed external. It did not pour down or shine upon him. It seemed to emerge from everywhere at once, including within. The seeker understood that the separation between source and witness had thinned. Illumination was no longer something received, it was something shared. He noticed his breath moving easily, unmeasured. His thoughts no longer organized themselves around progress or attainment. There was no sense of arrival, yet nothing felt incomplete. The old light had taught him to orient himself toward growth. The new light required no orientation at all. In this dawn, the seeker recognized that clarity had transformed into coherence. He no longer needed to hold himself together through effort. The fragmentation that once demanded vigilance had dissolved through understanding. What remained was a quiet wholeness that did not announce itself. He remembered the vows made beneath the sun, the flame entrusted within, the realization that the sacred required no walls, the humility discovered beneath the open sky. Each had been a facet of the same preparation. The old light had shaped him through contrast. The coming light would shape him through continuity. As the sun fully crossed the horizon, the seeker sensed that the era of correction had ended. This was not the end of discipline, but the end of supposition. Awareness no longer stood apart from life, attempting to guide it. Awareness moved as life itself. He felt a tenderness arise, not emotional, but existential. A recognition that the struggle to become had quietly concluded. Not because becoming was wrong, but because becoming had completed its purpose. He was no longer assembling himself. He was inhabiting himself. The old light faded completely. not extinguished, but absorbed. It lived on as memory, discernment, and gratitude. Its sharpness softened into wisdom. Its urgency transformed into patience. The seeker did not mourn it. He honored it by releasing it. He stepped forward, not into brightness, but into depth. The world did not appear perfected. Suffering still existed. Complexity remained, yet his relationship to it all had changed. He no longer met life as a problem to solve or a test to pass. He met it as a field of participation. The seeker understood that this dawn marked the end of a chapter, not the journey. The covenant of light had not promised certainty. It had promised alignment. And alignment, once embodied, required no contract. It sustained itself through presence. As he walked onward, there was no fanfare, no proclamation, only a quiet certainty that the light he now lived by did not separate or judge. It did not correct or command. It simply revealed life as it was, whole and unfolding. The final dawn of the old light did not signal darkness ahead. It signaled trust. Trust in awareness. Matured trust in clarity. Integrated. Trust that what had been learned would continue to live through action rather than instruction. And as the seeker disappeared into the day, the light followed not as a guide above him, but as the very ground upon which he walked.